The Bulls head west for a duel in the desert, and we go one-on-one with high-flying McCullum next on the Rotbert McCullum Show. Welcome to another edition of the Rotbert McCullum Show. I'm Jim Lighthall along with the coach. And a busy week for the USF Bulls. After playing only 7 games in the opening 5 weeks, the Green and Gold begin a stretch of 7 games in 15 days with the Duel in the Desert, a 3-team round-robin format in Las Vegas. And, Coach, a real good test against some quality competition out there. It was, to say the least. And why don't you remind me of the 7 games in 15 days, quite a challenge. But I think the stretch of 3 games in 3 days in Vegas certainly helps prepare us for this tough stretch that lies ahead. I was just going to say, some method to the madness there. You wanted to play 3 games in 3 days, especially for later on in the season. Well, I think wanting to play is one thing, but I think also you look at a number of things that factors into scheduling. You like to try and come away. If it's a 2 game, you at least want to get a split. If it's 3, you like to get 2 out of the 3 minimum. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But yet the experience of playing 3 games in 3 days, I think psychologically really helps prepare your players for what you hope would be a similar experience in conference play. If you win your first game in the conference tournament, you play the second night and so forth. And so I think that's really important to have an opportunity to put your guys in a situation you hope to face later on in the season. We'll take a look at the highlights from all 3 games in Vegas, beginning with Norfolk State and Texas A&M Corpus Christi when we come back to the Rotbert McCullum Show. By number 23.
These babies were born less than a year ago. Already more than $500 million have been raised for their education. And when they start school, it will be over $5 billion. What makes them so special? They live in Florida, where profits from the Florida lottery have helped fund education with over $16 billion since 1988. Aren't they lucky? When you play, we all win.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features make it even better.
Hello? It's for you.
The Rotbert McCullum Show is presented by Canes and Save On Furniture and brought to you in part by CGM Services, Singular Wireless, Coca-Cola, Dodge, Kirby's Menswear, Likes Insurance, and by the St. Petersburg Times.
The Singular Wireless fan question of the week comes from Sharon in Tampa. Coach, she wants to know what your holiday plans are going to be.
Well, we'll give the players off. We'll play tomorrow night. We'll play on the 22nd. And after that, the players will report back Christmas night. And we try, when we schedule, to give our guys as much time off with their families as possible. Unfortunately, we only have 2 days this year. We like for it to be 3 or 4, but we report back Christmas night and then leave on the 26th in the afternoon for Birmingham.
So that's down the road just a little bit. The Bulls head to Las Vegas. I actually got there a couple of days early to get adjusted to the time change, and they drew Norfolk State in the first game of the Duel in the Desert. And, Coach, you guys got off to a quick start, actually down 2-0 until this. Here's Melvin Buckley with a 3 to get you rolling.
Well, we did, and it's good to get him going early because once he makes a jump shot early in the game, it really seems to get his confidence going.
Jesus Verdejo with his first 2 points, and the Bulls were on top 24-11. What a debut for Verdejo.
It really was, and you could not have written it up better.
He had 20 points in his opening game with the Bulls. There's some points in transition, and we're going to talk about the big fella, Kentrell Gransberry, as well. Big number 1 playing his first contest, got himself set on the low post, and got a nice pass from McCullum right there, put in, and the foul. Boy, this kid is going to be fun to watch.
Well, I tell you, each game you see him do things differently, and just with more and more game experience, I think he really is going to be fun to watch.
The guy can really rebound the basketball, and he can show that he can score as well. McCullum pump fake around his man for the big dunk. That's something that you've worked on with him about showing the basketball.
You bet. Just great footwork, great jab step, and I just get tickled watching him do that.
You shot the ball fantastic that night against the Spartans. Melvin Buckley, that was, with a jumper. There's Solomon Bozeman with a jumper. It seemed like everything worked in this contest.
Well, it did, and against that zone, we got the ball in the middle of the floor, so we drew the defense in and then kicked it out. Just good inside-outside action.
Kentrell Gransberry with a nice move right there. Chris Capco getting it to the perimeter to Jesus Verdejo. He can shoot, but he can also drive the ball.
He can. He's able to score. Good mid-range game, and again, much like Kentrell Gransberry, as he gets more game experience and more familiarity with what we are doing, he's going to have quite a season.
So he finishes with 20. Kentrell Gransberry, 24 points, 11 rebounds. What a debut for him. Solomon Bozeman had 4 assists, and the Bulls roll in this one, 87-56. The following night, you face a Texas A&M Corpus Christi team that put together back-to-back 20-win seasons. McCullum gets you off to a good start there.
Well, he did, and we jumped out to a 7-2 lead, and we knew we'd be in for, had a big challenge because of the athleticism, and more importantly, I think the experience of the backcourt players.
It didn't take you long to put Gransberry and Verdejo in the starting lineup. Those guys contributed right away.
Well, they did, and we expected that. And again, just each game they play, I think we'll see them do more and more things.
How about McCullum right there on the follow? This guy really is around the basket at all times, and that's how he gets a lot of those buckets.
He really has a knack for offensive rebounding. What you see often is his player will go and help on penetration and give up rebounding position, and he has a way of cleaning up.
Solomon Bozeman at just 6 foot does go to the basket a lot and gets to the free throw line, and right there's a case of Melvin Buckley with a stick in and a chance to go to the line, and there's old number 15 again.
Doing what he does best.
Solomon Bozeman at the other end. You guys struggled a little bit in transition in this one. You mentioned that you struggled with their guard play, senior guards for them.
Well, it makes all the difference in the playing with freshmen. Although Jesus, for example, is a sophomore, he played sparingly as a freshman at Arizona and didn't play at all last year. So he's inexperienced. Solomon Bozeman, a Moosok, a true freshman. So that experience makes a big difference.
Bozeman led you with 15. You guys got it close, but couldn't get over the hump and lost 69-63. So the only team left in this 3-game road trip is the host school, the UNLV Runnin' Rebels. We'll take a look at those highlights when we come back. You're watching The Robert McCullum Show.
When it's time to cool off the competition, the USF Bulls rely on CGM Services air conditioning and heating. Call CGM Services today and ask about the Carrier Infinity System, the world's best air conditioning system. The Infinity System takes indoor comfort to a new performance level. So when you want quality service and long-lasting Carrier products, be cool like a bull and turn to the experts. Call Mike Charles or another CGM teammate at 813-AIR-COOL. CGM Services, proud sponsor of USF Athletics.
Hit the road and run with the USF Bulls to the Louisville basketball game. Enter to win at any Canes Furniture location, and you could win a trip for 2 to the USF Bulls road game at Louisville. Airfare for 2, hotel and transportation are included. Plus, you'll get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich coupon just for entering at Canes. The Bulls are back on court, so don't miss a single dribble, drive, dunk, or dish. Visit any Canes Furniture store today and enter free to win. Best quality, best prices, Canes.
Now, Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper makes it easier to be in the know. More color colorful, streamlined pages get you quickly to your favorite news and features. And new Sunday sections about the Bucs, the workplace, and travel, books, and the arts. It's everything you'd expect from one of America's 10 best newspapers, designed with you in mind.
In the know, in the time.
To subscribe, log on to TampaBay.com or call 1-877-THE-TIMES.
Welcome back. I'm Jim Lighthall along with USF head coach Robert McCullum. So the Bulls split their opening 2 games in Las Vegas, and that left only the UNLV Runnin' Rebels in the finale. So let's go back to the Thomas and Mack Center. And Coach, what an atmosphere there as the home team really had it rolling the night before. And you guys did some things defensively, though, to give them problems early.
I thought we did, and some of it was familiarity with what they were trying to do, and I thought we kept things within striking distance, played with a lot of confidence, and their pressure defense just took us out of so much that we tried to do.
Of course, Lon Kruger, the head coach at UNLV, and someone that you're very familiar with. Is that one of the reasons why you knew what they were going to do?
It had a little bit to do with it, it's safe to say, and vice versa. It's one of the reasons why they had an idea what we were going to try and do.
Melvin Buckley with a little layup right there, and then he dishes off to Solomon Bozeman. And you guys shot the ball all right in this game, especially from the perimeter. Got some good looks on defense.
We did, but again, turnovers. Our inability to handle their pressure defense. The result said and done was the difference in the game. The number of points that they scored off transition and off turnovers were just deciding factors.
Cut it to 1 point right there on the Jesus Verdejo jump shot. And the thing I like about Verdejo, Coach, is that he seems to know what he wants to do with the ball every time he touches it.
Well, again, he just sort of has a knack for scoring. As you saw, anytime you get the ball to the middle of the floor, it's difficult for the defense to help, and we do a pretty good job of dishing off underneath.
And again, you guys try to make a little run there at the end, but come up just 74-59. Kentrell Gransberry named to the all-tournament team. Nice honor for him there, but you really out-rebound the Runnin' Rebels, 45-33, but again, the turnovers was the difference in this game.
They were, and what about Kentrell Gransberry? Not only his 38 rebounds in 3 games, I think, but in his first 3 games that he's played, 38 rebounds, quite an accomplishment. Really happy for him, happy for the way we rebounded the basketball, and hopefully we can do a better job of taking care of the ball in the upcoming games.
So then the Bulls get ready to take on Missouri State at the Sun Dome. No rest for the weary, Coach, as the Bears come in, a very good basketball team.
Well, absolutely. They have outstanding balance, just a great shooter in Blake Ahern, and a player that's not only a great shooter, great free throw shooter, and just plays so well without the basketball, which makes him so difficult to defend.
Back and forth really throughout the entire first half. There were 4 ties, 7 lead changes in the opening 20 minutes. And Kentrell Gransberry, the beneficiary of some nice entry passes from Jesus Verdejo and others.
He got some baskets off penetration. Our defense, transition defense, was horrible, and their transition defense wasn't much better in the first half, and that's what led to Kentrell getting those easy baskets. Unfortunately, we gave up easy baskets seemingly each time he got an easy basket.
Well, you guys got down 7, but fought back and really attacking their 2-3 zone. The ability to knock down jump shots, specifically in the second half, and more importantly, Melvin Buckley.
We did, but I thought that was a stretch there when the game was still in doubt, when we missed a lot of good looks. He had a stretch where he got on a roll, but we fought back, went up by 1 or 2 there early in the second half, and just couldn't get over the hump. And just an experienced team that they are, they really answered the call and kind of won that next 4 or 5 minute stretch.
You were a little depleted going into this game. Buckley plays 39 minutes, finishes with 28 points, 1 off of his career high, shoot 48% from the floor, but give up 51% to Missouri State and fall in this contest. 81-69 was the final score. Another big week for senior McHugh Mattis. We'll have a chance to get up close and personal with the young man from North Lauderdale, Florida. When we come back, this is the Robert McCullum Show.
There are lots of definitions for creativity. Ours? Well, we feel creativity is ongoing, enthusiastic thinking demonstrated by our individuals and teams. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
Okay, see you later. Hello? It's for you.
Lots of focus on the bottom line these days. That's fine. But we'll focus on you, the client. With that approach, strange how the bottom line will take care of itself. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
Welcome back. I'm Jim Lighthall along with the head coach Rotbert McCullum. It's been busy here on the show so far. We've talked about the duel in the desert, but now the coach is relying on 5 seniors to lead him as one of those guys has gotten off to a quick start this year. Let's get up close and personal with McCullum.
This week's Player's Profile is brought to you by the St. Petersburg Times.
Knowing that we actually won the last game of the season instead of just going and out in the conference, I think it helped a lot. And then going over to Italy and playing a couple of games, getting a little bit more experience. It helped us out a lot, I think, going there because we kind of experimented different situations, how to score and stuff like that. So it kind of gave us a little edge to come back for the following year, I thought. So I think going to Italy was a good experience for everybody.
Senior forward McCullum recorded only the 2nd triple-double in USF history versus Winston-Salem State. He poured in 22 points while collecting 10 rebounds and blocking 10 shots.
I really didn't know till like Chris Howard had told me that I had like 9 blocks. He was like, I needed 1 more. But after then, that's when I found out, and then the announcer announced it afterwards. But I had no idea I had that much at the time.
McCullum transferred from St. Pete Junior College last year and had to make the adjustment to big-time Division I hoops. He credits his off-season workout program with his increased weight and success on the court.
Coming from JUCO and coming here, it was totally different. It's just the pace, I think. It's a lot more physical. But, I mean, I've been preparing over from last year to this year. I think I got a little stronger, which I need a lot on the court. So I think that helped me and helped the team out a lot.
One of the top shot blockers in the nation, McCullum and the Bulls look to finish out their non-conference schedule on a winning note before entering year 2 in the Big East.
I just feel that we should make it a little further than we did last year. I think we'll do real good in the Big East this year than last year.
Well, Coach, it has to bring a smile to your face when you think about McCullum and the progress that he's made in this short time he's been at USF.
Well, it really does. I'm really happy for him. He's just a great asset, great young man. As he mentioned, first of all, first thing that comes to mind, this is where he wanted to be. So it was a situation where it didn't matter what schools, other schools he heard from. This is where he wanted to be, and you want guys that want to be in your program. He's also doing extremely well academically. He's on track to graduate in May, and we certainly like that. I think what he's done, he's really increased the opportunities, the chances for him to play professional someplace after this current season is over. But he's just a quiet, all-around player that helps you on both ends of the floor, and you love to have guys like that. Very coachable young man, great team player.
You know, the thing I've noticed about McCullum lately is the fact that his leadership qualities have really come out.
Well, yeah, he's talking a lot more, and he understands the responsibilities on his shoulders and why we expect more of seniors than we do the younger players. And so he's trying everything that he can to take on more leadership responsibilities.
McHugh off to a great start this season. When we come back, the coach will put us to work. He'll talk about the importance of spacing on the court in the Coach's Corner.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features make it even better.
Now, Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper makes it easier to be in the know. More colorful, streamlined pages get you quickly to your favorite news and features, and new Sunday sections about the Bucks, the workplace, and travel, books, and the arts. It's everything you'd expect from one of America's 10 best newspapers, designed with you in mind.
In the know, in the times.
To subscribe, log on to TampaBay.com or call 1-877-THE-TIMES.
Here's this week's Coach's Corner.
One of the things that's happening far too much is we don't have proper spacing. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's transition, meaning for the most part after a missed shot, or if it's after a made shot, we're trying to attack before the defense gets set. We need 15 to 18 foot spacing. Okay, so if you take a look around where you are now, there's at least that between each of you. Okay, and what that does, that creates lanes and seams to drive the basketball. Contrail, come on, come here for a moment. All right, you guarding Buck. If you guarding Buck, still you'd be off man towards ball. But because Buck, what, high opposite, okay, now if you can get by your man, okay, because where Buck is, all right, Buck, what, is outside threat, so they're not going to leave him too much, right? So now, if you can say, drive this gap, you got spacing, help, Contrail, help. Come on, all right, good. Maybe a shot right there. Okay, now he's late recovering, so that would create what? An opportunity for Buck to do what? Drive on Contrail's close out, and so it'd be difficult for the defense to recover. Okay? On this side, let's say Chris is here. Chris is, okay, got good space in there. Okay, now pick somebody to go guard in Montana. Okay, now give me a guy guarding Melvin. Go back, Contrail. Okay, now with good spacing, okay, now if you can get in this, so you got the ball here, okay, if you can get in this seam, let's say if Eddie, you got Eddie on your side, all right, you're driving this gap, Montana has a decision to make. Okay, all because of great spacing. Okay, so we got to make sure that we got to do a better job of filling our spots. Okay, in other words, come here, Buck, on a couple of occasions we've talked about this. Buck's in here. Come on, Contrail. I want you to see the difference. Okay, Chris, you come in some. Okay, now you take a look at the floor. Okay, so that's why spacing is so important.
Coach, only 94 feet of total room on the floor, 47 and a half court, so obviously spacing is something you have to work on every day.
Well, it really is, and the way the game's played nowadays, driving and kicking, all right, making the ball occupy two people. If you can get into a gap or a seam, an alley on the floor, which causes help, then you have an opportunity to create an easier shot. You force the defense to play catch-up, have to recover that entire possession. And that's what we're trying to do. And you create that through spacing. And there's a thought that you do that, you create that through athleticism. Athleticism is important, but you can do that even if you don't have great athleticism through proper spacing.
Coach has more to say about spacing on the floor, and we'll get to part 2 of that segment coming up next week. Also next on the schedule, a long-time rival in UAB, and that'll take place in Birmingham. The Blazers have a new look. We'll fill you in when we come back to the Robert McCullum Show.
There's a saying on the street, plan your work and work your plan. In today's environment, we call that strategy. It's what we're all about. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
These babies were born less than a year ago. Already more than $500 million have been raised for their education. And when they start school, it will be over $5 billion. What makes them so special? They live in Florida, where profits from the Florida lottery have helped fund education with over $16 billion since 1988. Aren't they lucky? When you play, we all win.
Got it. The beat had some cataracts. The sheep don't like it. Lock the cash box.
Is he saying stop the cat box?
Stop the cat box.
You don't have to understand your music to understand how to get it all from your PC to your phone. Only Singular lets you take ripped, purchased, and even subscription music on the new Singular Sync. Only $49.99.
Stop the cat box.
Singular, raising the bar.
What gets us going? Understanding the two-way street whereby your trust and our obligation to deliver will get us both to the same mutually desired point. Like's Insurance. We leave nothing to chance.
The Robert McCullum Show has been presented by Canes and Save on Furniture and brought to you in part by CGM Services, Singular Wireless, Coca-Cola, Dodge, Kirby's Menswear, Like's Insurance, and by the St. Petersburg Times.
Welcome back to the Robert McCullum Show. As we took a look at those Big East standings there, Coach, and obviously the Big East very top-heavy, and all 16 teams off to a very good start so far on the season. Next up is a team you are very familiar with, UAB, in a city you are extremely familiar with. We're talking about the city of Birmingham, Alabama. That's where we're going to take you for this week's opponent's scouting report.
The Scouting Report is brought to you by Dodge.
The Blazers forced to make a coaching change in the offseason. Mike Anderson takes the job at Missouri, and they've hired former Indiana coach Mike Davis.
Well, they have it. Mike Davis is a guy that I've been familiar with since his senior year in high school. Sort of telling my age there, but he did an outstanding job at Indiana, and I'm sure he's happy to be back in his home state of Alabama. Different style, but yet they two are off to a good start.
Let's talk about those styles real quick, especially at the defensive end. They're going to be much different than what they were under Mike Anderson.
They really are. And having said that, they'll play good defense, but in a different manner. A couple of impressive wins already early in the season over two Big East foes, Cincinnati and DePaul. But yet this is a contest we look forward to.
Well, Coach, best of luck against UAB on Wednesday night in Birmingham. And that's going to do it for us this week. For the coach, I'm Jim Lighthall. Join us again next week for another edition of the Robert McCullum Show.